Why people think a great wife is someone who always says the right thing, never gets angry, and somehow keeps everything together. But real life does not work that way. Every marriage faces stress, misunderstandings, disappointments, and moments when love feels harder than expected. Yet some women seem to create deep respect, lasting connection, and peace in their homes no matter what life throws at them. Their secret is not beauty, luck, or perfection. It is wisdom. And today, we will explore 5 Stoic secrets every great wife knows. Secrets that can transform not only a marriage, but the atmosphere of an entire family. And the first one might completely change how you look at relationships forever. Secret 1, she does not let emotions control her actions. One of the greatest mistakes people make in relationships is believing that every emotion deserves an immediate reaction. A harsh comment gets answered with another harsh comment. A moment of frustration turns into an argument that lasts for days. A misunderstanding becomes a wound that keeps growing because nobody stopped to think before speaking. But a great wife understands something the Stoics taught thousands of years ago. Emotions are natural, but they should never become the driver of your actions. She knows that anger can appear without warning, disappointment can hit hard, and stress can make even good people say foolish things. Yet she refuses to let temporary feelings create permanent damage. Imagine a husband coming home after an exhausting day. He seems distant, impatient, and distracted. Many people immediately assume the worst. Maybe he does not care anymore. Maybe something is wrong with the relationship. Maybe he is being disrespectful. But a wise wife pauses before creating a story in her mind. She understands that people often carry battles nobody else can see. Instead of reacting emotionally, she responds thoughtfully. And that single decision changes everything. Because most conflicts in marriage are not created by major betrayals. They are created by small emotional reactions repeated over time. Every unnecessary argument adds another brick to a wall between two people. Every impulsive insult leaves a scar that takes time to heal. And every emotional outburst weakens trust a little more. The Stoics believed that true strength is not found in controlling others. It is found in controlling yourself. And this principle becomes incredibly powerful in marriage. Because when one person remains calm during chaos, they create space for understanding to enter the room. This does not mean suppressing feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing wisdom over impulse. It means understanding that your response matters more than the situation itself. Many wives believe being strong means always winning arguments. But true strength often means refusing to turn a disagreement into a battle. It means asking questions instead of making accusations, listening instead of assuming, and remembering that your spouse is not your enemy. Life is challenging enough without turning your partner into an opponent. And over time, this emotional discipline creates something beautiful. Trust grows deeper, communication becomes healthier, and both people begin to feel safer around each other because they know mistakes will be met with understanding instead of instant judgment. And perhaps that is one of the most powerful gifts a great wife can offer. Not perfection, but emotional stability in a world full of chaos. And as we move into the next secret, you will see how this wisdom becomes even more powerful when combined with something many people completely overlook. Secret 2, she understands that respect is stronger than control. Many relationships begin with love, but slowly become struggles for control. One person wants the other to think differently, behave differently, or become someone they were never meant to be. And without realizing it, they start managing, correcting, and pressuring instead of respecting. But a great wife understands a powerful Stoic truth. You cannot control another human being, You can only control yourself, and the moment you accept that reality, relationships become healthier, stronger, and far more peaceful. Because respect grows where control disappears. She understands that every person has their own thoughts, fears, dreams, weaknesses, and personal journey. Even the person she loves most. She does not waste energy trying to force change through criticism or manipulation. Instead, she creates an environment where growth happens naturally. Think about how often people damage relationships because they believe they know what is best for someone else. They constantly point out flaws, demand improvements, and focus on what is wrong. But people rarely change because they feel controlled. They change because they feel understood, appreciated, and inspired. A wise wife recognizes this difference. She knows that respect communicates trust, and trust often motivates growth more effectively than pressure ever could. This does not mean accepting harmful behavior or having no standards. It means understanding the difference between influence and control. She communicates honestly, sets healthy boundaries, and speaks her truth. But she does not try to dominate another person's choices, because she knows that every adult must take responsibility for their own decisions. And there is something incredibly attractive about this kind of wisdom. When people feel respected, they naturally become more open, more cooperative, and more willing to listen. They stop feeling attacked and start feeling valued. And that creates a deeper connection than control ever could. Many marriages suffer because both people are fighting for power when they should be building partnership. They spend years trying to change each other instead of understanding each other. And in the process, they lose the very connection they were trying to improve. But the great wife understands that love cannot thrive inside a cage. It requires freedom, trust, and mutual respect. And that is why she focuses her energy on becoming the best version of herself, rather than obsessing over changing someone else. Because she knows that personal example is more powerful than endless criticism. And when respect becomes the foundation of a relationship, both people gain something far more valuable than control. They gain genuine admiration. And that admiration becomes one of the strongest forces holding a marriage together through every season of life. Secret 3, she protects her peace instead of chasing constant validation. One of the quietest traps in modern relationships is the endless need for validation. Many people spend years measuring their worth through someone else's attention, approval, compliments, or reactions. They feel happy when they are praised. They feel insecure when they are ignored. And over time, their emotional state becomes completely dependent on another person's behavior. But a great wife understands a powerful Stoic secret. Peace is an inside job. She does not wake up every day wondering whether someone else will make her feel valuable. She already understands her value. And because of that, she brings confidence into the relationship instead of constantly demanding reassurance from it. This does not mean she never enjoys appreciation. Everyone appreciates kind words and affection, but she does not build her identity around them because she knows how dangerous that can become. Imagine a woman who bases her happiness entirely on how much attention she receives from her husband. Every busy day feels like rejection. Every forgotten compliment feels like a personal insult. Every distraction feels like proof that she is no longer important. Suddenly, small situations create unnecessary emotional pain, not because the relationship is broken, but because her peace depends on external validation. A wise wife avoids this trap. She understands that self-respect creates emotional stability. She continues growing as a person. She develops her own interests, her own purpose, her own character, and her own relationship with life itself. because she knows that a fulfilled person brings more strength into a marriage than a needy one. And this lesson becomes especially important during difficult seasons. There will be times when life becomes overwhelming. Jobs become stressful, finances become tight, children require extra attention, health challenges appear unexpectedly. And during those moments, nobody can provide perfect validation all the time. If your happiness depends entirely on another person's ability to constantly reassure you, disappointment becomes unavoidable. But when your peace comes from within, you remain grounded even when life becomes messy. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes from not allowing external circumstances to control your inner world. And a great wife applies this wisdom every day. She does not let social media comparisons poison her mind. She does not compare her marriage to carefully edited pictures online. She does not constantly seek proof that she is worthy, because she already knows her worth is not determined by likes, compliments, gifts, or attention. It comes from her character, her values, and the way she carries herself through life. And there is something incredibly attractive about this kind of confidence. People naturally gravitate toward those who are secure within themselves, because security creates peace, and peace creates stability. Instead of bringing anxiety into the relationship, she brings calm. Instead of creating emotional pressure, she creates emotional safety. And over time, this inner strength becomes one of the greatest gifts she can offer her family. Because her happiness is not fragile, it is rooted in something deeper than temporary approval. And that quiet confidence becomes the foundation for a relationship that can survive life's inevitable storms. Which leads directly into the next Stoic secret that separates truly great wives from everyone else. Secret 4, she accepts imperfection and focuses on what truly matters. One of the fastest ways to destroy happiness is expecting perfection from imperfect people. Yet countless relationships suffer because someone constantly focuses on what is missing instead of appreciating what is present. They notice every flaw, every mistake, every weakness, every unmet expectation, and eventually they become blind to everything good standing right in front of them. But a great wife understands a Stoic truth that changes everything. Nobody is perfect, not her husband, not her children, not her family, and certainly not herself. She knows that life becomes far more peaceful when you stop demanding perfection and start appreciating reality. Because reality is where love actually exists. Think about how often small imperfections become major sources of frustration. Maybe someone forgets an important date, leaves chores unfinished, says the wrong thing during a stressful moment, or fails to meet an expectation. Many people immediately focus on the mistake, replay it repeatedly, and allow resentment to grow. But a wise wife takes a broader view. She asks herself an important question. Does this really matter in the bigger picture of our life together? Because she understands that not every problem deserves the same amount of attention. Some things are simply not worth sacrificing peace over. The Stoics believed that suffering often comes from fighting reality instead of accepting it. And nowhere is this lesson more important than marriage. Because every relationship involves two imperfect human beings trying to build a life together. Mistakes will happen, misunderstandings will happen, disappointments will happen, and if perfection becomes the standard, frustration becomes permanent. But when acceptance enters the relationship, something beautiful happens. People feel safe enough to be human. They stop walking on eggshells. They stop fearing constant criticism, and they become more authentic with each other. Acceptance does not mean ignoring serious problems. It means recognizing the difference between genuine issues and normal human imperfections. A great wife understands that her husband is not a machine designed to meet every expectation perfectly. He is a person carrying strengths and weaknesses just like everyone else. And because she accepts this reality, she spends less time complaining and more time appreciating. She notices effort instead of only noticing mistakes. She recognizes progress instead of obsessing over flaws. And she understands that gratitude often strengthens relationships far more effectively than criticism. Many people spend years searching for a perfect partner when they should be learning how to appreciate an imperfect one. Because lasting love is not built through perfection, it is built through patience, understanding, forgiveness, and perspective. And perhaps that is why this Stoic secret is so powerful. It allows a person to experience more joy, more connection, and more peace without changing anything except the way they view the people they love. And when gratitude becomes stronger than unrealistic expectations, relationships begin to flourish in ways many people never experience. Secret 5. She understands that love is a daily practice, not just a feeling. Perhaps the biggest mistake modern culture teaches about relationships is the idea that love is something you simply feel. People are told that if the feeling becomes weaker, something must be wrong if excitement fades. The relationship must be failing if everything is not constantly passionate and effortless. Maybe they chose the wrong person, but a great wife understands a deeper Stoic truth. Love is not sustained by feelings alone. It is sustained by daily actions, daily choices, and daily commitment, because feelings naturally rise and fall. Some days are wonderful, some days are difficult. Some days life feels light, and some days it feels incredibly heavy. Yet the strongest marriages survive because both people continue showing up even when emotions fluctuate. A wise wife understands that real love often looks different from what movies and social media portray. Sometimes love is listening when you are tired. Sometimes it is being patient when frustration would be easier. Sometimes it is offering support when your own day has already been exhausting. Sometimes it is choosing kindness during moments when criticism feels more natural. These small actions may not seem dramatic, but they are the bricks that build lasting relationships. The Stoics believed that character is revealed through consistent action rather than temporary emotion, and this lesson applies perfectly to marriage. Because anyone can be loving when everything is going well. The true test comes when life becomes challenging, when financial pressure appears, when health struggles arise, when unexpected disappointments shake the family, when stress begins to affect everyone's mood. Those are the moments when daily commitment becomes more important than temporary feelings. A great wife does not wait until she feels motivated to act with love. She understands that loving actions often create loving feelings rather than the other way around. She knows that respect grows through respectful behavior, trust grows through trustworthy actions, and connection grows through consistent effort. This mindset completely changes the way she approaches marriage. Instead of constantly asking herself whether she feels enough love, she focuses on whether she is practicing love through her choices. And that perspective creates incredible stability, because emotions may change from day to day, but values remain steady. She chooses patience, she chooses understanding, she chooses loyalty, she chooses gratitude. And over time, those choices create a relationship strong enough to withstand life's inevitable challenges. Many people are searching for a magical secret that guarantees lifelong happiness, but the truth is often much simpler. Lasting love is built through ordinary moments, repeated consistently over many years. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, a moment of understanding, a decision to forgive, a willingness to communicate honestly. These actions may seem small individually, But together, they create something extraordinary. They create a marriage based not on temporary emotion, but on enduring character. And that is why this final Stoic secret may be the most important of all. Because when love becomes a practice instead of merely a feeling, it gains the strength to survive every season of life. And that is the kind of love that truly lasts. The greatest wives are not great because they are perfect. They are great because they practice wisdom when life becomes difficult. They understand how to master their emotions, respect instead of control, find peace within themselves, accept imperfection, and treat love as a daily practice rather than a temporary feeling. These timeless Stoic principles have strengthened relationships for centuries because they focus on character instead of circumstance. And the beautiful truth is that anyone can begin applying them today if this message spoke to you. Take a moment to reflect on which of these 5 secrets could make the biggest difference in your own life. And remember, strong relationships are built one wise decision at a time. Comment "Done" if you are ready to apply these lessons. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and join us for more life-changing wisdom here on Stoic Spark. Until next time, stay strong, stay calm, and keep building a life guided by wisdom rather than emotion.